Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 17th episode of Experience Matters. And today we have one more expert in our panel. Akanksha Gupta is with us. Hello, Akanksha. So let me
Hello.
give Akanksha's background brief to all of you. Akanksha has done her MBA in business management from XIMB Bhubaneswar Xavier Institute of Management. And after that, she is right now working with Titan Company Limited. During her stint in MBA, she has won several awards in case study competitions, and Titan's entry was also through Titan Elevate, which is a case study competition. So Akanksha has been one of the achievers in her college days and throughout her life. So today we will understand from her that what her experiences in XIMB, because many people were asking, XIMB, TAPME, MICA, all of these colleges, and many people were trying to compare them with Baby and New IIMs. And this video is more of an informational video as well, to make the people understand कि अगर IIMs नहीं हुआ तो तुम्हारा जिंदगी ओवर नहीं है. There are far better colleges or at par colleges to IIMs, and today we have none other than the expert who has been a pass out and a star from XIMB, and today she's sitting with us to share her experiences. So I will go straight away to you, Akanksha. First of all, thank you for accepting our invite to come on the channel. I would like to ask you with an open, open set to you that what do you think about the XIMB BM course? Because many of our viewers might not be aware of the XIMB BM course. So if you can tell what is this course all about and how is it on an overall good or bad, and how was your experience in it?
Okay, so hi everyone. So first of all, this was a very exaggerated introduction, is what I feel, but thanks for it. So coming to the XIMB BM course, so first of all, whatever I'm going to say, I feel like it's usually a very subjective thing. So what you make out of the opportunities you get is totally on you. So if I say it's a good course or a bad course, it's what my experience has been. So I can just share that with you. So overall, according to me, the BM course in XIMB was it was quite a comprehensive course. So in the first year, of course, it's a set of generic subjects that you have to study, and you need to so everything is mandatory in the first year, and in the second year you get an opportunity to actually choose a few electives according to the final specialization that you want to go ahead and take. So I think from that perspective, first year gives you a good flavor of everything, and then second year how the general MBA works. So if I have to say academics wise, I really enjoyed XIMB. Many people might not say that because again, it is on you. What you make of it is totally on you. But I fully enjoyed the academic side of XIMB, and it was extremely rigorous also. So yeah.
Great. So overall, what I hear is just like any other MBA course, or not an MBA course with a specialization. The first year is more open towards all the subjects, and then when you find your interest and hunch, you can go for specializations in the second year. So it's more of an MBA course which is at par to any other MBA course that is there, which kind of gives you an open spectrum to select from. So going away to the straight away to the batch, right? How was the batch? How were the peers? What was the batch profile like? If you can just share what were their work experiences, what were their backgrounds, academic, be it gender diversity, and overall batch profile, right? Not the exact numbers though. Overall batch profile. How did you find the peers there?
So exact numbers I don't really remember also because it's been a while now. But so I think majority of the batch had you can say an average work ex of like maybe 20 to 24 months. So there were the proportion of freshers as it is generally was relatively lower. So that was what the batch looked like, and there were many people from, of course, majority were engineers for sure. So there were a few of us who had done like this BCom commerce, who used to kind of for finance subjects we all used to like guide each other, because then in the first year many things are thrown at you which you don't have prior experience of. So majority of the batch was engineers. Majority were had an average work ex of 20 to 24 months. And coming to the gender ratio, I think it would have been like maybe 65-35, if I'm not wrong, male to female.
So pretty fair batch profile, I would say, in terms of overall academic diversity and gender diversity, and from a work experience background as well. A lot of peer-to-peer learning would have also happened in that. So great to hear that. Now, very pertinent questions that are in the top of the mind of the people, right? They always keep on asking about the placements. कि placement कैसा होता है college में? So when I talk about the placements, again, we will not go into the average packages and all, because average package is something that you can find out on the website itself. There are reports that are published and well defined. But I would like to, talk about your experience regarding the placement scenario. How is the placement scenario looking like? What are the good companies, few good companies, if you can name, which are industry stalwarts, and maybe the highest or the lowest package that you remember probably.
So my placement journey was it was different compared to the generic one, because so for me in the first year of MBA, so I was a very I was actively taking part in case competitions, and this was from the first year itself. So 3 months into the MBA, I took part in Tata Steelathon with my team. It was actually my team's vision. I didn't have an aim of like like acing it or anything, but we gave it our best, and 3 months into the MBA, we won that competition. So we got a PPI, which is the pre-placement internship, and we also got a PPO, which is the final placement offer. So I had that in the first 3 months. So once you have that, you're not really allowed to sit for the proper. So we call it exuberance at XIMB, the placement, final placement week. So we were not allowed to sit for that. So I couldn't really sit for that. So I didn't experience the whole rigorous placement scenario, and applying for companies and sitting for multiple interviewing. I didn't go through all of that. So I'm not the best person to talk about that, but I did see my friends. So all kinds of companies used to come. I think, to name a few, the top ones, it would be Microsoft, L'Oreal. So L'Oreal, usually before this, L'Oreal actually never took a final placement candidate from our college, but there was this one person in my campus who actually aced her internship at L'Oreal. So for the first time in history, she actually converted a PPO. So there was L'Oreal, Microsoft, Tata Steel. Of course, Tata Steel has a very strong association with XIMB. So they take people every year, and it's a very good relationship the college has with them. Then we had many more, like we had, of course, PwC. There were banks that had come in. So it was a mix of it was a mixed bag, if I have to talk about the placements.
Great to hear that. So, kind of, I hear finance companies, also hear consultancy companies, some of the consumer brands as well, even software companies. So, a diverse portfolio. So, if you are looking for kind of options in varied fields of interest, you can obviously choose to, go into this college. And also, what I hear you saying that, students create the difference at the end of the day, right? You spoke about an example where one of your friends did a fantastic internship in L'Oreal, and after that, she got the PPO also, which is a great thing to hear as well. Like perceptions are created, perceptions of a created of a college is created by the students themselves. So that's what is good about it. So going away to the next topic, right? When you talk about case competitions, would like to hear more about it, because see, I want to break that myth. There is a myth that only good colleges, like the top IIMs, maybe the Blackie and all of them, kind of there is a bias when there are case competitions like this, and they are preferred more. But you having said that, you have aced quite a few case competitions, including the Tata Steel one and then the Titan Elevate, and you are the perfect person actually to talk about the case study competitions. How did you ace through that, and what was your overall experience in the case study competitions? Also would like to highlight to highlight on the pedagogy part. How was the overall course structure in your college? Though you have mentioned the first and the second year part of it, would like you to emphasize a little more on that, and the peer-to-peer learning part. So overall case studies, internships, pedagogy, peer-to-peer learning, clubs, committees. If you can summarize the overall life at XIMB and what is up for the students if they go to an XIMB kind of a college.
Sure. So I think the best part about XIMB is that, and something that I always say. So I think when a student writes CAT, of course, everybody has this aspiration of getting into the top B school, right? But so from XIMB, what my biggest takeaway was that it will give you all kinds of opportunities. It's totally on you what you want to make of them. So for me, case competitions was extremely important. So, and especially once you get that one push. So 3 months into the MBA, when I had won Tata Steel along with my team, it really gave us that a lot of encouragement that we can actually go ahead and participate in all. So then I think I've taken part in like more than 15 to 20 case competitions spread across the 2 years of my MBA. So I've done everything. I've done L'Oreal, and also to mention, so I along with my team was the national winner for two of them. but I have lost like majority of them. So I've lost like around 16, 17. And we could only make it in like 2 national winners. And then we had like podium finishes, semi-finalist in say Airtel, or national finalist in Avalon, or so it was a mix of that sort. But we have lost many more than we have won. So I think the whole CaseCom journey is so beautiful that you'll be given real life business problems, and you need to come up with real life implementable solutions. And the when you speak about the biases that people have, that only the people from the top B schools must be making it through these case competitions. So it's absolutely not like that. So in Tata Steel also, we were competing with stalwarts such as IIM Ahmedabad, in Titan Elevate, when me and my teammate won in the second year of my MBA. We were competing with all kinds of B schools. There was IIM Calcutta, there was, like, just name it, they were all top B schools there. So I think the major takeaway from case comps would be that you need to, first of all, you need to enjoy the real life problems that are given to you. You need to give it your best, and you don't have to think about, I'm from this college, so I might not make it. So I think that is a mistake we made in after the initial 5 or 10 case competitions. We were not able to crack anything. So I think when we sat and analyzed where we were going wrong, what we understood was that we were thinking too much about the final outcome and winning, rather than focusing on the process. So please focus on the process and just enjoy it. I think if you enjoy your case competitions, or not just case competitions, anything that you do, you will see the outcome eventually. So for XIMB, at least we've been very active. So every year we have like at least like 3 to 4 national wins. And so yeah, from that perspective, XIMB was absolutely great. Coming to the pedagogy part that you were talking about, so the great part was that they were extremely serious about academics. Now it's on students whether they want to be serious or not. But they were very, very, so when it comes to academics, XIMB is extremely strict. So you have to every single assignment. I think that's common across B schools, but there are certain B schools who do give some lenience when it comes to academics, but XIMB is for sure not that. So every assignment, every small test will add up to eventually changing your entire score, right? And they're very serious about it. So if you're missing something, I mean, that rigor is for sure there. So if you're prepared for something of that sort, then you should definitely go there. Again, this is my experience. There might be people from XIMB who say otherwise because they've had a different experience. But yes, I think overall the best part about the teaching in XIMB was that we had a lot of real life cases, and some of my favorite subjects also. I remember there was so there were two things. One were the regular subjects and the regular teachers who used the case methodology to teach. So we used to have so many HPR articles that we used to go through. Then all of us used to sit and discuss in class. So that was, I think, the best memory I have in classes. Apart from that, there were also these extra courses where visiting faculties used to come from outside and teach. So there was this one course called Behavioral Economics. I still remember it's my favorite course. We learned a lot there. They actually shared what real life innovative solutions they were coming up with for serious gripping problems in the world today. So I think those kind of things really give you a very good perspective and just widen your thinking horizons. But one subject that I really need to mention, right now I think it is discontinued. In my batch, there was a subject called FMGD, Firms, Markets, and Global Dynamics. So that was something that it used to happen from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the night. And it was like meditation, those 2 hours. Like you listen, and the teachers were very, very passionate while teaching. So if you enjoy like studying, learning, then I think a few of the courses at XIMB you can really, and of course, you can take the further step ahead. You can go that extra mile. You can sit in the library for hours, research more. And I think that whole process I mean, I really miss it. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Fantastic to hear that, and overall exposure kind that you mentioned, right? Be it the pedagogy or be it the case study competitions, wala scenario. I think enoughs and aboves for the students. Instead of thinking, as you correctly told, they need to come out of the shell of thinking that what will be the outcome, and maybe we will not get through. Maybe we are not at the best place. Maybe it could have been better. Lot of maybes and could have beens, right? But not really working on what is available. We do not extract the best out of it, right? But I hear you saying this, and I'm very glad that you pointed this out, right? It ultimately depends on how you utilize that opportunity. You can go to libraries, you can sit for hours, you can read some books. There are plenty of methods available on the net, on the web, today, where you can learn a lot of things beyond your academics as well. And when it's supported by great academics with great case study examples, as you clearly mentioned, Harvard business, cases, these are stalwart cases, and they are cases that has found solutions in multiple domains with their multiple ways by multiple professors and students. So everyone has their own approach to it, how you see it, and it's a great bit of learning, right? Everyone has a different way of seeing the things, and when you interact with more and more people, when you discuss these case studies in your classes, and you learn about them in your classrooms, you hear the professor's perspective, and then some student might highlight a different perspective altogether, which might not have been the classical solution of the case study.
Yes. So this one course we had, it was called Contemporary Issues in Strategy. So he was also an IIM Calcutta professor, and he has been discussing this Boeing case. I remember we were discussing for years now, and then I remember because I had pitched and I have such good memory of this. So he asked for pointers, and then I also gave him a pointer, and then he said, that I've been teaching this case for so long, but like every year a student gives me like a new pointer. So like that whole addition of like people thinking and discussing it and then coming up with things that nobody could have thought of, that part is just amazing.
Yeah, and that is what MBA does to you as well. You discuss about business problems and you try to find solutions and strategies to those business problems, right? And then, somebody will execute it someday, and some magic might happen. So all of that is threaded by activities that you do in those classrooms and the exposure that you have. And that is what MBA is all about, right? So great to hear that, that kind of an exposure or open ground is there. And a lot of visiting faculties, as you mentioned, also are there in XIMB. So that leads to my next question. All we have talked a lot about XIMB and what kind of exposure it has for the students. So if you have to say, like, what is that one hook or that major highlight that you have seen in XIMB as a college which makes it different, and when a person can think that they're the right fit for XIMB, or XIMB is the right fit for them, when should they be coming to an XIMB according to your experience, if you can say?
Mm. So I think you should come to XIMB if you're open to grabbing whatever opportunity you get. And it's kind of a generic answer because that's true for all B schools. But so if you think from a practical viewpoint, people will join the next level of B schools, which are not say the maybe the top ones, only when they I mean, if you're joining this kind of a B school, you need to know that either so of course you would have planned to get into some B school, and God forbid, things don't go as per your plan. Then if you're taking a step of joining a B school like XIMB or any other next good B school, then I think you should just go in with an all-in mindset that now you have to give it your best. Now, whatever comes at you, you need to give it your best at that. And I think then you can go ahead and just really nail things. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen people achieve things that they didn't know they were capable of once they stopped the whole self-doubt and second guessing ka process. So
Yeah, correctly pointed out, and would like to share one personal experience as well. When I came into IIT Kharagpur, many people told that IITs are not known for MBA. Why are you going into IIT Kharagpur? You should probably target the blackies and, IIMs, and you shouldn't settle anything lesser than that. But I had one thing clear in my mindset, that it's about the learning attitude. Anywhere you are, you can learn the best out of it. And at the end of the day, it's about the approach you take during your MBA and the things you want to learn. It's about the intent rather than the exposure. Obviously, the exposure helps to some extent. You get exposed to the top mind in the country. Your peer-to-peer learning is there. But that is true for any other college, right? There are best people in any course that you take. So there is nowhere you think that it is any lesser than any top IIM or any top B school. Either you perform or perish. Even at the top IIM, if you don't perform, you perish, right? So
yeah,
as a student, you have to be very, very open. I hear you saying that. As a student, you have to be very, very open to every kind of opportunity that comes towards you and make the best out of it. See, as a student, you need to give in a lot of effort into learning and personal development once you go into XIMB or any college per se. You have to be very, very open. You cannot close the spectrum and have a very, very concentrated thought process. And that is what MBA is about. It kind of opens up your spectrum. So glad to hear that. Yeah, you were saying something.
yeah. So I just want to add to that. So two things I feel any person doing an MBA really should understand. So I've seen people get into this whole trap of now फिर कल सुबह उठ के class जाना पड़ेगा, and the whole that whole process of why do I have to do this, and it's like a forced learning of sorts. But I think from every subject that's being taught in class, if we can try to understand the overall bigger picture. Why is it that you're learning this, or how would you apply it going ahead in your life? It sounds preachy, but it really helps, trust me. So if you look at the bigger picture, if you try to understand that, okay, I'm not studying this right now forcefully because I need to get this grade in my this exam. So I think if you look at the bigger picture, okay, I get to learn something new, and maybe not apply it going ahead, but it's something that's helping me expand my thinking capabilities. So that is one outlook that helps. And second is the prioritization bit. If in MBA you join like 1,000 clubs and you're doing all case competitions and you're trying to excel at academics, if you're trying to do extracurriculars, because I've also done all of this. So I'm telling you that it's very, very important to know what your P1, P2, P3, P4 would be, because only then you can manage your time. Otherwise, MBA can get very, very hectic and you'll find yourself feeling overwhelmed multiple times.
Yeah, time management is a big thing, right, in MBA. And as you mentioned correctly, that what is the bigger picture? Why are you trying to solve it? Like in a chemical engineering class, I would sit randomly and I will think, ki chemical thermodynamics, why do we even need to learn? Where will I apply it? But once you understand the application of the things, I think that is when things become more interesting. And I always keep on telling people कि अगर 2 घंटे का lecture है ना, कितना भी boring professor हो, अगर तुम उस lecture को सुन लोगे, उसमें से तुमको 15 मिनट का ऐसा snippet मिलेगा ना, which will help you throughout your life. And that has happened
And
for me in every circumstance that I've been. That some or the other
yeah,
somewhere has taught something in a random thing, has told some exhibit, right? And you suddenly click in your mind, अच्छा ये केस स्टडी में तो ये चीज बोला था इसने, अच्छा यहाँ पे ये अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. And that is what
exactly.
happens, right?
So the width is very important. Depth आप कर सकते हो in certain things, but having the width of everything really helps.
Correct.
That's what the MBA is also structured.
It's kind of a T approach where you have a depth in like a knowledge bit of everything, and then you develop a depth in a particular thing. So moving on to the probably my last question to you in the session, which has otherwise been a fantastic one till now, is what is life after XIMB MBA? No, let's break this myth of people today that if you don't pass out, as I have been start in the starting of the video, as I mentioned, if you don't pass out of a new IIM, baby IIM, Blackies, your life is over. Probably give one more year, probably give one more year. And I've interacted with lots of people, right? I have been taking this consultation sessions lately, and most of the people come into the consultation session with a mindset that I have to repeat because I couldn't make it to a top B school this year. And the top B school in their mind is nothing but an IIM. And I want somebody to break the myth that even after passing out from a non-IIM, which is equally good, you can have a great life provided you choose to do the correct things as a student, the learning aspect, or choosing to go or make the right decisions. Like you are in Titan, you are a classic example from an XIMB. I want you to highlight a few other examples of your colleagues or peers or friends or alumni who have been doing great with life, and how does life on a general level looks after an MBA from XIMB?
Okay. So one thing I want to say is that I feel like this is a very personal thing. So even if I put it out on your channel and if I say, ki, if you're not made it to a top B school, you can still be happy. I don't think that will help people be happy, because at the end of the day, it's your mindset. If you aim to get into an IMA, and if you couldn't get into an IMA, you are going to feel bad about it. But I feel like it's on you. If you want to fix your mindset, see, if you want to give a second attempt, if you want to go ahead and try, amazing, you should definitely do that. But if you're not able to muster courage to take that step, then if you are going ahead and choosing the next best B school or the next best opportunity that you have, there I would just say that try to forget the past and look at the future. And more than the future, just enjoy the present, whatever you're doing right now, because that kind of a mindset really, really helps. It'll help you move ahead, and you will not realize what else you can actually achieve from it. So answering your question, what life after XIMB looks like. So I'm in Titan right now. I'm in the innovation department, and for me, a typical day in my life, what it looks like is that so Titan it's a great work life balance wise. It's a great company. So we aim at solving like these challenges that the different businesses face. So we have 5 businesses in Titan. So I think overall, life wise, I'm kind of content with where I am, because it's a great role. We get to solve difficult challenges and we get to learn. So we talk to a lot of customers in retail. If you're getting a front facing role where you get to speak to customers and understand their problems and then get products which are catering to their needs, I personally love that kind of a role. So Titan is great, I mean, for me right now. And I think again, more than me telling people that even if you're not from like a top B school, your life can be happy. That is something that should come from within. That is something that you need to, kind of develop that self belief, and that the power that you need to think, and you need to be like confident that you can nail it and ace it in life. So 6 months down the line, you're not even going to be thinking about what's happened. So like move ahead and just give it your best.
Great, great. And at the end of the day, it depends on how you perceive the things. So if you are not making it big, right? If you think you are not making it big, probably you should think otherwise, that, now it's done. What next? And how can you make it big? Rather than focusing on the bygones, you should focus on what can be done from here on. So great insights, Akanksha. Once again, fantastic talking to you. I would like you to give the last minute tips or suggestions, if you want to say anything to the people out there who are just hustling, maybe hustling in their jobs, maybe hustling after their bachelor's, maybe in the last year of their undergrad and trying to figure out their life. They are interested about business, or some of them are looking for exit options in MBA, or some of them are just, very, very happy about the salaries that MBA provide. What do you have to say about all of those people who have a lot of dreams, but kind of trying to figure out in between the things in a busy city, that how to proceed?
Okay, so I'll tell you what how I emerged. So right now I'm sounding very positive and very preachy, but when I was preparing for CAT, it was like a dark phase for me, because just like other people also, I was also aiming to, like, of course, get into like the top B schools and everything. So if you're aiming for something and if you're not able to get it right now, I think just take a step back, and in that instant, instead of being extremely hard on yourself, everybody is hustling, right? I mean, we're all hustling to achieve like bigger, better goals. But I think it's important to also take cognizance of this moment that you have right now. So just take a step back. Don't be very hard on yourself. I was extremely hard on myself. That's how I learned that it's okay. It's okay to kind of forgive yourself for not being able to achieve what you had dreamed of, but also believe that better things will happen. So just have that belief in yourself. And right now it might look like a very, very long and difficult journey, but I think focus on the moment right now. If you give it your best right now, and if you give it your best in the next moment, and then in the next, then eventually you will achieve what you have to. So instead of focusing too much on the outcomes, for everybody who's hustling out there, focus on the present, focus on fixing your problems, and like if you have weak areas, focus on correcting those. And if you know your strengths, focus on strengthening them. I think that really overall helps. Is that what your question was?
Yeah, I think any tip, right? And correctly mentioned, as correctly mentioned by you, sometimes we get so engrossed in the results, and tend to think that, okay, I planned so much, I worked so hard, everything was right, and something snapped at the last moment and it went bad. Or you might think that, okay, can I even do it? You have self doubts. And back in the day, you need to see the light on the other side of the tunnel, because we have all been through that phase where we couldn't see the light on the other side of the tunnel, and we were clueless. At least personally, me, and as Akanksha also mentioned during her CAT preparation, she was also kind of going through the same phase. In life, just remember, not everything will happen as you planned it to happen, but things will happen in its own course, and you can get the best out of it if you choose not to give up, if you choose to think differently, if you choose only to move ahead in life from where you are right now. So that is one good thing, a good learning, a great session, and people have got fair bit of idea what is there in there for XIMB, who wants to take up lot of clubs and committees activities, lot of pedagogy, case study structure, serious academics, case studies being solved in classes, open discussion forums, and I hear a hectic schedule, as well as a lot of learning opportunity, great peer-to-peer learning, great case studies to be solved in case study competitions, a lot of things happening in and around XIMB, a lot of things to learn. Akanksha has kind of covered the entire spectrum. And again, as she mentioned, this is her perspective or her experience of seeing the things. There is no generalization that we are trying to put through this, but we are just trying to bring an expert who can share their experience. And we will keep on bringing experts like this on our channel. Thank you, Akanksha, for being with us today. It was fantastic hosting you on this channel. That brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you stayed till the end of the video, just like, share, subscribe to the channel, and help that one person who is just looking out for that one opportunity, for one word of motivation. Just go and help this video reach that person, whoever needs it. That was it from our side for today, and that's the end of today's episode. We will keep on bringing experts like this on our channel, on our podcast in Experience Matters. That was it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.